India has clearly become a strategic priority for global tech firms. Could you elaborate on Snowflake's current operations in the country, the scale, the clients, and your overarching vision for the India?
Sure, thanks. Great question, by the way. I mean, India, like you mentioned, is a prime focus for most tech companies. Snowflake also is doubling down on India as an investment destination, as a destination where we are heavily invested to make sure that we serve the Indian market, we serve global customers from India, and we also invest in the country in terms of AI and skill sets out here.
Can you quantify Snowflake's investment in India over the past few years, perhaps in terms of capital deployed or headcount growth?
Sure. So, India, like I mentioned, and we've been here just about 5 years, a little more than that. Within this 5 years, we've invested quite heavily in terms of both the skill sets part of things, as well as, our own presence in the country. Today, we have more than 700 people in India across our GTM teams or the local teams which serve Indian customers, across our Pune Center of Excellence, across various support teams which are based out of India. And this number has been growing up, every year actually. And so the investment continues. Like I mentioned, India is a very large focus area for the company itself.
Some of your major clients and customers in India?
See, India, we today, if you look at India, we have customers across all major verticals, right? May it be financial services. Just to maybe quote a few names, you have customers like Piramal Finance, you have Godrej Capital, you have Bajaj General Insurance, and all of that. So a whole lot of customers across all verticals. Financial services are few names which I took there. You have customers, for example, in digital natives. Some of the largest unicorns have been working with us for many, many years. Folks like Swiggy, Urban Company, all of those have been large Snowflake partners who essentially use the Snowflake AI Data Cloud for delivering outcomes to millions of their own customers.
Mr. Rai, when we talk about India as a country, as a location, geographical location, it is a hub for top-tier tech talent. How significant is the Indian Engineering and R&D Center that you mentioned to your global product roadmap? Are there any specific products or core IP that you are developing entirely or primarily out of India? And how are they impacting your global offerings?
Sure. So like I mentioned, India, we continue to invest. It's still an early story here. We've started investments in different parts of our businesses here, GTM, the Center of Excellence in Pune, a little bit of R&D as well. And we are still mulling over the scale at which, what more needs to come in those areas. And I'd request all of you to just hold on for that. Hopefully we'll have some more announcements coming around, investments specific to engineering and R&D. But we continue to invest, right across. You mentioned skilling, for example, right? Snowflake has a program called Million Minds, one platform. Essentially where we are investing more than $20 million globally to skill more than 1 million people. In India, in fact, we've tied up with NASSCOM to skill 100,000 people through their future skills program. So we invested on this market to develop AI and data skill sets, make sure that we have all working professionals and the youth of this country skilled on the latest in terms of AI and data. So that commitment remains from our side. And, as we go and the story evolves even further, we'll be able to talk more about, further investments.
Mr. Rai, a lot of concerns over AI taking over jobs today. A lot of big tech firms like Google, TCS, all of them are laying off a huge chunk of employees. What's your take on this dynamic, being an industry person who is heavily handling in AI and other new technologies? What is your take on this entire situation?
Yeah, so, if you look at AI, and obviously the world changed in November 22 when you had the advent of generative AI coming to the fore. And the big thing, Aditi, which happened then was essentially AI has been there for a long time. But, with generative AI, people could then see the power of AI in their own hands, right? They could see creations happening and what they could do, for example, with unstructured data. Snowflake as a company is extremely excited with what AI can do for our customers, right? We believe that, enterprise customers can get more efficiencies out of it. They can unlock more value out of the data than ever before. So all of those things are all positives which we think AI brings to the table. It will improve efficiencies. It will ensure that people get more out of their existing investments, etc. And Snowflake today is committed to getting all of that across to customers, both in terms of solutions, but also in terms of processes and skill sets, saying that this is how you could actually transform your business with AI going ahead. So in our mind, when we look at AI, AI is a productivity enhancer. We use a lot of AI internally as well. And we are seeing that, we are getting more productivity out of people, using AI tools to make things happen. Likewise, for our customers, we're seeing a lot of customers, for example, unstructured data, which used to be, your PDF documents and things like that, which typically have, you have mountains of that sitting in organizations, in legal, and other places. We're seeing customers now having the ability of bringing that, into AI engines, and then getting more intelligence out of it very, very easily. Right, so AI, in our mind, has a lot of positive to deliver to the market, a lot of positives which we see internally as well. We use AI pretty much across all our functions, and we've seen that if anything, it's enhanced productivity, it's made people more effective.
As you mentioned, AI will sure amp up economies and productivity, but when we talk in terms of human deployment, how will it impact that? Are we talking about a future where lesser human capital is needed and everything is automated, and productivity is going up but human deployment is going down? Is that something that we see?
In my mind, Aditi, when you look at a country like India, right, a massive population which we have, a country which is moving at speed in terms of economic development, and the problems we have, may it be healthcare, may it be agriculture, and a whole lot of areas, a lot of those big scale problems are problems AI will solve. You can imagine as the population increases, you really can't have, systems and people everywhere. AI will actually be a force multiplier for a country like India. For India, I guess it's going to be a big game changer in different, parts of our economy, in very specific strategic areas like healthcare, financial services, etc., where you normally wouldn't be able to reach people. AI can do that at scale. AI and digital can do that at scale. So for us, I would think there is a lot of upside in terms of AI and what it can do. And a lot of use cases and outcomes are just taking shape right now, and probably you'll see them evolving into India scale AI use cases in the future. But and I'm very clear in my mind that AI actually is there to solve India scale problems.
And how do you anticipate regulations around AI, data privacy, cross-border transfers influencing data platforms, data choices among enterprises in India over the coming times?
Regulation is extremely important in different sectors, may it be financial services, may it be healthcare, may it be telecom, and everywhere else. I believe we have some of the best regulators in the world in India. May it be, what RBI does or SEBI does in financial services, and so on and so forth in other sectors as well. It's extremely important to make sure that as digital is adopted at scale, we are also making sure that, it's used in the right fashion, bad actors are kept out, and all of that. It's like any other technology. When you're adopting that, you also need to take care of the culture and the process side of things, and the regulation side of stuff. So regulation, in my mind, is important. It provides the guardrails for the industry to operate. It will make sure that the users are protected for different things. So I would think it's important that regulation keeps in step with technology changes, and we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing our regulators being very, very proactive in terms of looking at what's happening with, say, AI, for example. Most of them have frameworks already talked about or stipulated for the industry to look at. We, as a very responsible player in this sector, we look at all these regulations. We also have dedicated security teams who talk to these regulations, basically provide those details to customers as to how Snowflake adheres to these regulations in India, may it be RBI regulations or regulations from other regulators. So absolutely committed to making sure that we, as a responsible AI player, we provide all the frameworks and governance, for adhering to regulations. But to that point as well, what you need to realize is the Snowflake AI Data Cloud is a global data cloud across different countries, right? What we do is we bring in the best practices, of what we do, and in probably the most, tough regulation situations. It would have been already done in certain geography. We bring all those best practices to India as well as part of the platform, right? So we have that advantage where what the biggest bank in the world would get in terms of security and compliance, the smallest player on the platform also gets the same thing. So that's the level of compliance and security that we offer to our customers. We take it very seriously.
Shifting gears back to the company, you mentioned a couple of your clients in the private sector. I would want to understand if you also deal with the government for some projects, or if not, would you be willing and considering to work with the government in near future?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the public sector is an absolutely big focus area for us. In the US, for example, we have just got ourselves certified for the FedRAMP certification, which is the highest level of defense department certification in the US. In India, we have this year put in actual investments in terms of resources in Delhi, in fact, to start our public sector business. So we are shaping it up. We are absolutely committed to working with the public sector in the days and years to come.
Before we wrap up, Mr. Vijay Rai, looking ahead, what are Snowflake's key expansion priorities in India? Are we talking new office locations, deeper penetration into tier 2, tier 3 cities, or specific focus areas in terms of industries and geographies? What kind of customer growth are you targeting this fiscal?
Sure. So, I mean, if you look at the world of data and AI, India, we have a lot of headroom to expand. Not only Snowflake, but most players in this space, there's a massive headroom to expand. India still is a very, very large on-prem country. In the sense, a lot of data is on-prem, right? But then with the advent of what you have on the internet, unstructured data, etc., the opportunity for enterprises to do better in terms of getting all the data in one place, and then having sort of strategic analytics coming out of it, applying AI is tremendous, and that's what Snowflake offers. We see massive headroom across all industry verticals, for Snowflake, and we're investing for that. So maybe financial services, manufacturing, for example, digital natives continue to be a very big focus for us. Even the small and medium enterprises, the commercial sector, as we call it, which is the growth engine of India, is a big focus area for us. In fact, some of the biggest investments we've made this year is actually in the commercial sector, as we call it, who work with the small and medium enterprises. The upcoming startup segments as well is a big focus for Snowflake. So those are areas we'll keep doubling down on. Public sector, like I mentioned, is an area where we started investing this year, and we'll continue growing as well. But largely, India is a land of opportunities as far as Snowflake is concerned for data and AI, and we think we can partner with organizations here to help them achieve their outcomes for growth, for AI as a lever of that growth. And absolutely excited with what potential India offers us.